Here's something I found that's made sitting in a bar while you're alone a lot more fun. The only caveat is you have to be a writer to be able to do this. So, as some of you know, probably not most of you, I write sci-fi about a time traveling salesman. Lots of fun. Have a book coming out soon. What I sometimes do is I'll be at a bar. Like I was at this place, Mackay, the other day. It's a non-bar bar. They sell like kava and stuff. And I'll get stuck on something. I'll be for instance, when I was writing this book, I needed a way to visualize feeling the weight of an emotion. Like we feel the weight of fear or sadness or whatever emotion you may be feeling. And I couldn't think of some way to describe that well. So what I do is I rope the bartenders in and I go, hey, real quick, how would you describe the feeling of being weighted down by an emotion? And I just see what they say. They're usually like, "What is this guy talking about?" But they're curious, which is really the interesting part, and they play along. I haven't had anyone not play along yet, which has been nice. Like, and this girl did a really good job. She was like, "Well, I guess it'd be like," and she kind of reiterated what I said, but we eventually got there. Like, yeah, but like, how would you visualize that? And she was like, something heavy. I don't know, I was like, it's like what? Like, and she was like a hat, like a heavy hat. And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty good." So I use that, and now that's in the book, and she gets to have that essentially. If she ever reads the book and picks it up and sees that there's some guy getting weighted down by a very heavy hat, like that's concrete or gold and like very uncomfortable, and it's like tilting his head over. But I like using that to like, A, it makes their day a little bit interesting and different. Two, it gives them they get to be a part of something without knowing it. Sometimes, like she didn't, but a lot of times I mean, she's like, "What's this for?" I'm like, "I'm writing a book." And usually they like get more interested and they want to know more and they want to read it, and always open to sharing my writing and stories with people. But usually they just get more hooked on and like get really curious. They'll be like, "What is this about? What are you doing?" And then I'll tell them I'm writing a book and I'm writing a story, and then they get it builds intrigue. And the funny thing is, there's usually a gap where like I ask it, I don't tell them it's for a book or for writing or anything. I just kind of ask it in that way of like, hey, what would you do here? Or what could be this for that? Then they give me an answer and then they go away. And because they're bartending, they're making drinks, and they'll come back later and they'll be like, what was that about? And why did you need to know that? And then I'll tell them. But if you're a writer, go try that out because it just makes it more fun and it leads to some interesting discussions and conversations.